Hetep, can I be heard?
Yes, you can. Hetep, and welcome to the forum.
Yeah. Hetep, my sister Blue, Bobby Hemmitt, Hetep, bro. This Tahuti coming out of Olympia, Washington. I got a statement and a question. You know, Bobby, I was building with another god, and he was dropping on me how when we were in Christianity, when we were in Islam, we weren't scared of those deities, the Jesus, the Allah, the Yahweh, the Gabriels, you know, but when it comes to our own shit, now we get the fear. You know what I mean? What about this? What about that? And so now my question is, I was also building with Bro Rudra, and he was dropping how people are starting to get into the occult knowledge and metaphysics, and how sometimes we're a little overzealous and we jump straight into the deep end, say Palamayambe. And he was talking about how you need to be built for that before you jump right in, because sometimes it can be sort of detrimental to you if you don't realize the powers that you get.
No, because see, right there, he's spreading the same fear. He's spreading who introduced him to Palamayambe? Can you tell me? Who introduced him to that? I introduced him to that. Now, all of a sudden now, he's running the spookism telling you that's another thing. You see what I'm saying? If you can study and do your own deductive reasoning, see, you don't even need that right now, because that's another pimp game. That's another pimp game to say, I'm the one that introduced him to Palo. You see what I'm saying? So my point now, all of a sudden now, he's running this game to saying that this stuff is evil. Or this stuff is, you need to get it. That's bull. What that is that's a pimp game, because he's trying to tell you to go through him. You see what I'm saying? And he don't know his ass from a hole in the ground. When he's trying to do that whole fear thing. So that's another thing. We need to get out of this foolishness. That's the pimp game that all the rest of the people have been saying, oh, you ain't ready for that yet. You see what I'm saying? So when will we be ready for it? You understand what I'm saying? Look, we go on these white men corporations and we make them billions of dollars figuring out things that they tell us to do. If they can't figure out, we make them billions of dollars. And all of a sudden now we so dumb that we're going to need a nigger to come up and tell us that you don't need to deal with that. You need to, that's bull. What we're trying to tell you is to do, if you studying and you ain't following nobody, you can make the deductive reasoning on what's evil and what's called, and we don't need nobody spreading no fear. You see what I'm saying? Right. I've been into this stuff years before him, so now all of a sudden now, it's so fearful. No, that's a game, that's a pimp game. That's a Negro wanting you to follow him. You see what I'm saying? So we need to get out of that bull. You see what I'm saying? And if you can find some of these things, then get into them.
Right.
Get into them.
All right.
You see, so that's a whole nother thing. You see. I'm the one that introduced them to Zarabanda. Now all of a sudden now, this is a terrorist religion or a terrorist system. You see, that's bull. So you see, that's another thing. We don't need nobody dictating to us on what we need to do. You need to study it yourself, because let me tell you what's happening. When your spirit is ready for something, it's going to lead you to it. So that's why you survey things, and your spirit will tell you, this is what you need to be dealing with right now, and go into it. But that's another thing by giving you that fear. You see, and that's a pimp game. And I tell him to his face on that. You see. So I'm just trying to say, we need to get out of that too. We need to get out of that too. I've been dealing with this stuff for years. You see what I'm saying? And the only fear is your mind. And somebody telling you that it's that way. Well, give me some more questions.